Hello and welcome to the For the Content podcast with me, your favourite Colesy, and my co-host, Rapskilian. It is episode 6.
Yeah, we got it right this time.
We did discuss beforehand that
He's
the
like,
episode
it's
is
number
six.
6. It's number 6. I'm like, wait, what comes after 5? 6 or 7?
We're keeping track now. Well, we're trying to. So how's things with you? How are we doing?
I'm doing fine. Though I have found a new arch nemesis in life.
An arch nemesis in life?
Yes, I've decided I'm going to do a crusade, a hunt, a blood vendetta against the rolling cunts we call. I'm sorry for using such profanity.
I mean, so close to the
horseflies.
beginning as well. I mean,
Horseflies.
horseflies.
I hate horseflies.
I just hate the heat in general at the minute. That's what I'm hating.
Well,
And the
I have
sun.
to deal with heat and horseflies.
Well, yeah. They sort of come. Well, actually, speaking about some sort of insects, somewhere in my office there is a giant spider.
You know, okay, I know. Okay, that's also like this is going to go on a whole tangent. So put on your
Let's go.
hats, boys. Let's talk about the human body and horseflies and spiders because I have a lot of experience recently with. Because my job pertains me going outside in the open outside world and having to walk around various parts of this villages, not cities, villages. And so I see a lot of spiders. I walk into a lot of spider webs, which really annoys the living balls out of me. I've never knew that something so simple as a spider web can irritate the crap out of me.
Is it that thing
much.
where like you feel it on your face and you're like,
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the worst part is no one knows what's going on.
No,
so
you
just
just
they
look
just see me
insane.
randomly going like,
yeah, yeah.
it's just like, oh yeah, that guy's going crazy. Horseflies.
Mm-hmm.
I almost had a car accident because of a horsefly.
It took the wheel, did it? That's what it did. It took control.
No, it was not Jesus coming to take the wheel. Basically, I never knew that they were so aggressive. These things are super aggressive.
I'm looking at pictures of them right now just because I wanted to clarify what one was.
A
gross.
horsefly. A horsefly is a. I don't know if it's correct. Maybe somebody can correct me in the comments below. They're a different version of their same family as a fly, but they branched off in evolution and just said fuck everything in the world. So instead of eating poop and garbage and decaying flesh, they eat blood. Well, only the females.
Yeah, I didn't realize, but I'm noticing on my Google search it says a horsefly bite is very painful. I'm like, oh, they bite. That sucks.
Yeah, they bite. Like I literally have a bite mark right here from one. From
Oh
today.
yeah,
Oh man. Oh, Colesy. And the thing is, like a normal fly, you're like shoo shoo, and he goes
Yeah.
away, right?
Mm-hmm.
These fuckers, if you go shoo shoo, they go away, but they come back with a vendetta.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
And
you
that's
want to
what
fight?
happened. That's what happened because they're super aggressive because they drink blood, and then apparently, if they're in an area with a lot of animals, a lot of humans, that they get super aggressive. They get more and more aggressive the
They're
more blood they
basically
consume.
vampires.
Exactly, this is what I'm saying. The church should get involved. This is like a fucking World Series prop topic. So anyway, I was driving my car. I saw the horsefly. I'm like, fuck you, not today. And I went, shoo, shoo, shoo. I closed my window.
Yeah.
I drove a few meters further. I opened my window again. I was like, okay, I'm going to open my windows because it's very hot, as Colesy has said. So I open my window, and I'm like, la-di-da-di-da, I'm driving, and this horsefly comes back with full vendetta in my face. And I'm an idiot. I don't go foo, foo, foo with one hand. I go with both hands.
You just
Whilst
release all
moving
control.
in a car.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I nearly shat myself. I'm like, grab the wheel, and I'm like, I stopped the car. I was like, I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to kill that fucking
I'm going to trace it down. I'm going to kill it.
It's like, oh, you know what? I can't kill you. I can't find you, so I'm just going to write on Twitter, horseflies are assholes.
Yeah, so my spider, I came into the office briefly yesterday just to pick something up that I'd left in here. And as I opened the door on the carpet, I just saw something move. And I was like, oh, what the hell was that? And then I saw it, and it was a spider. And I consider it quite big. It's probably like...
that's fuck off.
Inch, 2 inches, definitely like
I'm
inch and
sorry
a
for
half.
the cursing today. Yeah, but that's huge, man.
Yeah, and then it ran under my desk And my desk is like, it's not just one of those ones with like 4 legs. It's got like long legs because it's an electric desk, so it's really heavy.
Okay.
So it went under it, so I couldn't like kill it or get it. So I left, and it's here somewhere. It's
Sometimes
like,
you feel like someone's crawling on your legs.
if you see me looking around, it's just because I'm checking my environment. You know, like when you go to bed, and if you ever see a spider in your room, you're like, I can't sleep because I know it's here, and for some reason I think I'm going to eat it in my sleep, and I need to kill that. Well, that's what I'm living in right now. I'm living in a place where a spider is, and he's giant, and it probably wants to kill me.
And that spider's probably like, oh, that Coles is going to eat me. I should be really careful next to him.
Oh, I don't want to eat that. That thing's huge. It's horrible.
So, this is something I always want to talk about. Like, what is wrong with humans?
Many things, but specifically,
like
what are you looking
literally,
for?
what is wrong with our instincts? A thing this size, or even smaller, like a small little spider, our whole body goes, nope.
They can kill. Well, I mean, you know,
No,
proper spiders.
I get it. I get it. But like an animal is like, okay, this spider is not dangerous. Humans are like, oh no.
I think animals, unfortunately, are kind of dumb, and we have got big brain because we humans, and so we just make things scary for ourselves.
Yeah, but like, come on, man. Like, what? Like, I work. I saw a spider on the thing, and I'm like, my whole body was like,
Yeah.
Like, why? It's not gonna hurt me. It's literally not gonna hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, especially the spiders we get are basically not going to hurt us. I mean, it's not as if we live in Australia where everything.
Okay, if you're living in Australia, literally everything are going to kill you.
Yeah,
just like,
everything will kill you. I mean, the heat will kill you alone. You live in basically a desert. There's snakes, there's spiders, there's scorpions. Oh my god, move! Don't live there. It's insane.
Oh shit! What's his name? Do you know that comedian? It's a lazy eye. He always makes fun of his lazy eye, and he's one of my favorite comedians. I'll tell you why he's my favorite comedian, because he did something special to me.
Excuse me. Okay.
He went to Australia to do a show, and he was doing the show, and he's like, at the moment we have a heat wave in the UK, and everyone in the audience started laughing, and he's like, for you in the UK, for us in the UK, 29 degrees is like,
it's ridiculous.
We're gonna die.
Yeah.
And people in Australia are like, oh, that's just a summer's breeze.
Yeah, that's a normal day here. I mean,
it's a normal day.
I'm going to look at the temperature right now because today's quite hot. My phone's telling me it's 20 degrees, and I think that's too hot. It's too hot.
Jack Russell, Russell Brand, no, not Russell Brand.
Oh my god, we're going through so many people.
Russell Howard. Oh my god, I love Russell Howard.
Yeah, Russell Howard's pretty good. He's a solid funny man. He's a funny man.
I think I've told this story a few times around various parts of the internet, but I think it is very good that we tell another story here because you thought it was a spider, didn't you?
You want to know what it was? There's a thread on this cushion, and I've got a fan under the desk, and it was blowing it around, and out the corner of my eye, I could just see it. I'm sorry. That's terrible for the audio listeners. I was terrified that there was a spider.
By the way, podcast also available on audio format.
It's on audio and video. So if you want to watch the video version and you're listening to the audio version, you can come to my channel on YouTube, and that's where it is. Or if you are watching the video version and suddenly you've got to go and do some work or something, take the audio version with you. It's brilliant. You can get it in all those audio podcast places that you obviously know where they are because you're human. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, we have a Twitter now for this podcast.
Oh yeah, I made a Twitter. Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah. Just had this notification pop on my phone, and it's like, oh, for the content, has followed you on Twitter. I'm like,
yeah, I thought that's the way I'd introduce you to it. I'd just be like, here you go.
Back to the topic, Russell Howard, how he changed my life, and how he became my favorite comedian ever. So I love watching British comedians because I think they're funny and they have a lot of good humor. I love British humor. I think it's satirical. It's very self-deprecating, and it's also dry, but also poignant and everything, right? Russell Howard made a joke. And this was back when I was like 16, 17 or 18. Not around about that age. I was living with my mom, my parents, and it was around about 11 p.m. at night. So it was a bit late. And I was watching the show on YouTube, and I was eating food at the same time. And he made me laugh so hard. So hard, I threw up on myself. I literally just like, ha ha.
And that's why you love him, because he made you physically
And at that
vomit.
moment, my mom came into the room because I was being so loud.
Mm.
And she's like, Rapskilian, could you please be quiet? And at that moment, I turned around and I was just like covered in puke. And she's like, oh, for fuck's sake, and just closed the door.
She was just like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not doing
stop
it.
dealing that. It's like, if I ever meet Russell Howard at that day, I want to tell him, you're a
You made
special
me vomit.
comedian because you made me vomit with laughter. Has that ever happened to you that you laughed so hard that you had to throw up?
I actually sort of have a fear of throwing up. And
Oh,
I,
you have?
I
Well, I think
seem to-
that's a general fear, no?
Yeah, okay, so I realised that. And I realised I seem to, every time I speak to you, I tell you about something else I'm scared or anxious of, and I'm worried that I might be more broken than I think. But I
Don't
know
worry.
generally people hate being sick because it's not nice and it's
Yeah.
gross and it's stinky and tastes horrible and hurts. It hurts all in your ribs because you're like, "Ugh," like when you're actually
Yeah.
ill. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I haven't been sick for many years because I sort of feel like my body fights it, if that makes sense. Like when
Oh,
my
that makes
stomach
sense.
hurts, my brain starts going, oh, I don't want to be sick. I hate it. I don't really want to be sick. So then I feel like my body's like, okay, we're going to try everything we can to do
To
anything
literally
else
not-
that isn't vomit. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
you're going to shit yourself for days, but we'll make sure there's no vomit coming out your mouth. I feel like that's how my body deals with it.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
My wife is also like that. She doesn't vomit.
She just
She
does
never.
not
She
vomit.
like literally. She did it once, when she was a kid, but never since then. She can never do it.
Yeah, I'm
She
kind
can be
of
like
scared of it.
horribly ill and be like, "Oh, I can't vomit." I'm like,
Yeah,
"What
one of my
black
biggest
magic
fears
is this?"
is like, because my girlfriend Sarah works at like a nursery for kids. So she's looking after all these kids all day, and they're all
Oh,
coming
okay.
in with their bugs and their snotty noses and their
Oh.
sicknesses. And I'm just terrified she brings one home that's like a sickness bug, and I get it, and I'm like, oh god, no, please no. It's my worst fear. I'm just like, oh, I don't want it. I really don't.
Oh man.
I remember
that-
as a kid, there's a funny story. Mentioning your mother and vomit in the same sentence. I once was a kid and I was ill
I'm
and
surprised.
I obviously had to be sick. So I ran into the
Okay.
bathroom. And in the bathroom, my mum, I think, was giving my sister a bath when she was like a little kid.
Okay.
So she was next to like where the toilet was. The bath was there. So
Mm-hmm.
I go to be sick in the toilet. And I'm not very good at being sick in the toilet. For some reason, I just very messy. Just I don't know whether it's because I'm slightly tall and I'm just like, it makes a mess. Anyway, so I started being sick, and then I think my mum spoke, and mid vomit, I turned around
Oh
and vomited on her back, and I was like, oh Jesus, I'm so bad when I am vomity sick.
Yeah.
The moment that I realize I'm actually going to vomit is about half a second before it comes out my mouth. So I am going to be sick
Oh.
where I am currently. It's horrible.
Okay, so you're so don't talk to you when you're getting sick
It's because
because you will get vomited on.
I think it's that my body's fighting it and my brain's going, I'm not going to be sick. I'm going to do everything until the moment that it's gone. I can't help you, and
Do you
then I'm
not
sick.
get the cold ears?
Cold ears. No.
Do you not get that? Like, what if I feel like okay, I'm gonna
Cold ears. I've never heard that.
like I'm gonna get sick, my ears get cold. Like
so
the tip,
what? When you think
the-
you're just going to
the
get
tippy
illness?
tops here, like it gets cold,
No, I don't get cold ears. That's
and I'm
I
like,
don't know.
oh,
No.
the ears are cold. This is bad.
I can feel it in my throat a lot when it's like a cold's coming, and I'm like, I normally, as soon as I feel that, I'm like downing as much medicine and like orange juice and
Oh
stuff
no, I'm
as
not
I
talking
can.
about like getting sick. I'm talking about like going spew.
Oh no, that does not affect my. I get a watery mouth, and that's it. But the time I realise, is like I said, half
I'm
a
very
second.
salivating today.
It is. It's like, oh, my mouth is so full. That's what happens. I don't know. I don't know about the cold ears. That sounds weird.
That is a
All the-
defense
I don't know,
mechanism.
it's like for some reason you're storing vomit in your ears and it leaves, and you go, "Oh, it's cold there now." It must have left. It's on
I
its
think my
way.
body just like drains all the blood out of my ears, and my body's like, okay, we need to concentrate in this area of the body now.
Yeah, we've got stuff to do, and it's not ear
Got stuff to
related.
do. So this episode again, it's about our bodily fluids. This is becoming
know,
for the
I'm
concept of bodily
sorry.
fluids, man.
It's funny when people poop and be sick. It is. Come on.
It is though. to steer away from the inevitable disgusting topics, which we'll return to probably again naturally.
Oh, it'll happen.
So I'm going on holiday
Woohoo!
soon to
Woohoo!
Japan to visit family.
That sounds
And all of a sudden, my brain's like, gotta make content. I have to make content. And I was like, I was preparing the whiteboard behind me. That's why I covered up because a lot of little secrets on there now.
Secrets. Mm-hmm.
And
No
as I'm
spoilers.
writing down all these ideas and all these, like, I got so many cool ideas for videos now, and I'm writing it down and blah, blah, blah. And I take a step back. And I'm like, I haven't uploaded anything to my YouTube channel in months.
I mean, that's what slightly confused me when you messaged me saying, I'll be there in a minute, I'm just finishing a recording. And I'm like, what's he recording? Like, he's stream, he's not recording. And then you were like, oh, it's a Let's Play. I'm like, I guess he's doing a YouTube video now.
It's like, I gotta prepare. I gotta get ready for this now. I gotta do this. And there is something that I'm working on that I'm really excited for. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because, do you ever do this thing when you want to make a video, your brain goes, ideas, expectations, and then reality comes from behind and just does this?
Yeah, it does. It is. I'm a big thinker. I feel like I think very far in the future, and I think really cool things. And then you have to realize, oh, that's expensive, or that involves a lot of people helping me, or maybe that's just out of my ability to produce something like that. There's lots of things that bring you back down to reality, kind of.
Reality, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like the idea that I have right now, it's not about skill, time. It's most about time. Like, do I have enough time?
Okay.
And like, am I able to do it because of like dyslexic things? You know what I mean?
Okay, the fact that I don't know what it is and you don't want to reveal it makes it slightly difficult, but I do get you, yeah. I mean, we're all limited in our own ways.
I'm going to write a script. Okay?
You're going to write a script, okay.
I'm going to write a script.
Scripted.
Rapskilian has to like memorize a script and then perfectly. This is I cannot emphasis enough on this. I have to be on time with each word on cue.
Okay.
For this video to work. And
are you able to retake it if you have to? Like if you screw up a word?
So if I screw up halfway,
yeah,
I literally have to start from the beginning.
So it has to be in one shot.
It has to be in one shot. And this video is also going to require me to do certain choreography, like positioning.
Okay.
Everything. Because I want to do a one-take video.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be ambiguous. It's a big word for me. So please applaud me in chat.
It's just... I rarely do a one take. I don't write scripts for anything I do because I know...
Because we're Let's Players.
Yeah,
streamers.
But even if I'm doing some sort of review... Even if I'm doing some sort of review of a product or something, like some stuff like that, or a game that I've played a lot of, then I might make bullet points so that I remember things I want to talk about, but other than that, I'm just going to go... Because I feel like my brain works better. If I write it down, I feel like when I read it, it's going to sound... written. It's going to sound written, and it's not going to sound like I would normally talk. So
why is that a problem for you? Like,
I don't know.
I used to be a musician. I used to do music, right?
I
used to do the rappy stuff.
You did, yeah.
Literally, I could do better freestyle. Not anymore, but back then I could freestyle so good. But when you ask me, write the song, please sing the song that is written on the page. Everything falls away. Yeah. My flow, as the kids called it back in the day, I don't know what they call it now. They call it vibe. I don't know.
So that's me. I've got no idea. I've got no musical talent whatsoever.
It's just like everything falls apart. Where it's like, I've written this song. Now make it sound good. I'm like, fuck me, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a certain talent that I do not have, unfortunately.
That's also like why I never will become a stand-up comedian, because I feel like I can never... Like, I have all these jokes in my head that I want to put out there, and I feel like, okay, if I write down the jokes... But then you write down the joke, you're like, that's not funny.
Yeah.
Because you have it written down.
It's the way
visualize
you present it.
you have to visualize the presentation. and that is a skill I want to learn. Really want to learn.
You've got to go and do one of those like stand-up comedy. Do they? I don't think they do some sort of course, but I mean like like an improv course, like stuff like that.
Oh god,
no. I'd hate that. That sounds like my worst thing ever. But...
I went to one, and it was terrible. It was just a bunch of old blokes going, "Oh,
yeah."
Okay, they weren't just literally going.
Everything they say, you've got to reply with like yes and then like continue on from there. Yeah. And it's like, oh god, Jesus.
Yeah. No, I think what I wanted to do originally was go to acting classes because I think that's a talent that we could use in our industry.
Yeah, probably.
And also, I wanted to do a hobby radio station on Twitch.
Okay.
Before the whole copyright claim thing started becoming an issue, I was like, I'm going to run a radio channel.
It's really going to screw up a radio channel when you can't play any music. It could be talk radio. There you go. But then that's just this. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
With no music,
24/7 podcast.
Yeah. I mean, you would run out of things to say. You'd be like, I'm just going to read the news or something because you're like, I've run out of info.
Boris Johnson has taken a shit.
Everything's expensive. Fuel prices.
The sun has risen.
Yeah.
Now we must pray. The whole idea of becoming like doing acting and voice acting and stuff like that. I always wanted to do that because I felt like I don't know about you, but when I was a child, my parents used to fucking hate me. Still do.
When I was a child, my parents used to fucking hate me. What a quote. Let's get that a t-shirt. Jesus.
Because I was like, they always ask me, what do you want to grow up when you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, I want to become an actor. And then after a few months, I was like, I want to become a director. And after that, I was like, I want to become a singer. And after that, I was like, I want to become a game director. And it always like was this mass of like everything. And then YouTube came around. I was like, oh shit, I could do everything except for game development because I'm too stupid for that. I think
you could figure it out.
My dad literally killed that dream within 5 minutes.
Okay.
He came to me because my dad's a smart noggin when it came to mathematics. He's like, do this. He gave me a formula, special formula. He's like, calculated.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do that.
He's no chance.
You have no chance. If you can't do this simple algebra calculation, blah, 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 you can't do game development. You need to be good at maths. And I was like, Dad, he's like, son, I'm going to be honest with you. Go do something else.
That hurts.
I was like, okay, Dad. I guess I'll just
okay. You're probably right. You've crushed my dreams. Oh.
He's dead now, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Jesus. Okay. I think when I was a kid, see, sometimes, I mean, some kids are just insane, and they're like, I want to be an elephant when I grow up, and you're like, okay, you can't do that, mate. You can't be an elephant.
Dude, I want to always like encourage those kind of kids.
But a lot of people
I want to be a crocodile. Go for it.
You got to practice, like laying in a dirty river for a long time, and snapping.
Just chew on random people walking past.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know. I think a lot of people don't know until like they're really. I mean, a lot of people don't know at all what they want to do.
I don't think you do know.
There's always the classic kids who are like, I want to be a policeman. I want to be a fireman. You're like, okay, I don't know how many of those kids actually ever go and do that thing. My weird thing that I wanted to do when I was like a really little kid, for some reason, I don't know really where I got this, but I wanted to be a cameraman.
Oh.
I really wanted to be
cool.
And you know what, when I think about it, I go, I still really like filming stuff. Like, it's part of what I do now. I'm like, I guess I kind of ended up sort of doing a version of that, but I always like the idea of being a cameraman. I don't know why.
And that's why like I think YouTube, what I mentioned before, is like YouTube is such a fucking cool thing. Because
you can be anything and do anything.
You could do, it literally opened the door for people that were like, oh, I want to become an actor. I want to do this and this, singing, acting, who wanted to do multiple things. It gave them a platform to experience that kind of, dream.
Yeah.
And then also experience the crushing reality that millions of other people want to do it also at the same time, and you're not a special little flower, and nobody cares about my existence. I mean, your existence. Your existence, not mine. Mine, everyone cares about me.
But the thing is, there's so many, like, niches. Like,
oh, yeah, everyone's like, find your niche.
No matter what it is that you like doing, it could be the most obscure thing in the world. If, like, there's an audience for it. That's what's so cool.
That's true. That's true.
It can be something that the normal people that you know that live near you think you're a weirdo for doing. But if you put it on YouTube, there's going to be, like, a shite ton of people that are like, I love that too. And that's so cool. Yeah. That's the coolest thing.
But it's so hard. I really don't... Okay, I really hate those YouTube channels and TikTok channels and Twitter channels that are like, oh, I'm going to give you streaming advice. Find your niche.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since, like, 10 years. I still don't know what my niche is.
No, I haven't found it either. I haven't found it.
Losing my mind?
I have a friend who lives a couple towns away from me that I found. He does YouTube. His channel is significantly bigger than mine. I think I spoke about him before, actually. We were talking about earnings, and I was like, oh, he was earning like 1,000 a month, and I was like, oh my god, I'd love that from his channel and stuff. But he genuinely has found a niche, and he told me the same thing. He's like, you need to find a niche, and I'm like, I don't think my brain can focus on one thing for that long and not be bored. I'd be like, I'll do 10 episodes of whatever this niche thing I found is, and I'd go, I don't want to do it anymore because it's too much. Yeah. He does, I mean, I don't think he'll care or listen to this, but I won't say his name or anything, but he does, I guess they're kind of scripted battles in a game. I can't remember what the game is. But it's like army men, right? You know, little green army men, you know, little plastic ones.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing, right? And he's got like this massive lore and story and there's different factions. And so he just sort of creates these battles in whatever game it is. Can't remember right now. But it's one of those, you know, like one of those, what's that one that's very popular where you just spawn a load of units in and fight them against each other and it's a bit weird.
Total Battle Royale.
That one.
Let's take things
totally accurate battle to me. It's that kind of style of like battle, right? So he coordinates it all, he sets it all up, and then that's the video. He lets the battle go ahead. And it continues the story, and he's got this whole world where he's like, oh, the green army men live here and the tan-coloured army men live in this country, and there's dude, that's the perfect niche, right? I understand that works so well.
That's different though. That's so different.
But I couldn't do that. I don't have that much interest in like one singular thing. I don't think.
I think. Okay, I get what. So like, if you're just like, okay, your niche should be playing a battle royale game or Valorant, for instance. This is very self-introspective.
That's fine. That's stuff, you know. It's good.
It's like, like everyone said, okay, Rapskilian, your niche is playing Valorant every single time, right? I'm really coming out to the point where I had a burnout in Rust because that was my niche. I found a niche in Rust and people liked it. They were like, oh, I got 900 followers from it on Twitch. I could have stuck to it and keep making content in Rust, and I would have probably grown significantly more. But I would have become a very unhappy content creator because I cannot deal with that game's toxicity, and it's a level of like, it's a game where your mind just goes numb. Like literally from like frustration. Like I can't play games like Escape at Tarkov, The Cycle Frontier, fucking Rust, because every time you build up something, it gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I flick between games like that so often. Like I liked PUBG when PUBG came out. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun game.
That's different. Like a battle royale game, like
I
Apex
can't
Legends
do it. I can't
or
play
Warzone.
I can't do
it's
it.
Like
I'm not good at it either. That's the problem.
You just play, and you don't win, and people have fun. The lols, the laughs. You could find a little niche in it, but also playing those games every single day, I cannot do it. Unless, okay, you tell me, Rapskilian, you stream Warzone, you're gonna get 20,000 viewers tomorrow.
Yeah, but again,
okay,
yeah, okay, but you get the 20,000 because you do it. But then 4 months later, when you're still having to do it, you're like, I hate this now. That's what you had with Rust. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no.
In a
That's the
way.
thing is like wipe the tears away with the money. Oh no, it's
I'm
called
so
sponsorships. I'm so sad with my Lamborghini.
Yep.
But I get it. But like what your friend is doing, he's making a lore, and he's
It's
making
so
a world, and that. Oh, dude, I'd be so obsessed with that. Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think I have the creativity in that form to be able to write something like that.
Oh,
That's like writing a novel. I can't do that.
I can't write a novel, but I've done the thing as a child since I was like 14. I'm still working on it right now. I've made a world with its own lore and history and its own religion and its past and history and its expansive shit. It's my hobby. I sometimes sit down and I make work on it a little bit. But I get that.
What's your plan for that? You have a plan, or are you just doing it?
Well, originally I was supposed to make a game out of it, but you know, my father just crushed that
Oh
fucking
yeah,
dream.
you can't do maths, so screw you.
Like, bro, I could write shit. He's like, no, you're dyslexic, kid. Get out of here.
My parents did that to me too, so it's fine. Like when I was a teenager and I was like really into skateboarding, and me and my friends, I was like, I'm gonna be a professional skateboarder. I'm gonna get really good at it. And they're like, look, you're not that good at it. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Kids need to be brought on a peg sometimes, but there's a level of way of doing it.
Yeah,
where the older generation don't know how to do it.
I mean, you have to
because
tell
their
the truth.
parents were like so harsh to them, and they're like, I'm going to be harsh to my child now too.
It's that thing of when you like watch a program like the X Factor or something, and someone comes on and they can't sing, but they think they can sing, and you're like, how has nobody told you? Please do not go on that show because you are going to make an embarrassing mess of yourself. It's that you're just trying to stop your kids from doing that. And be like, you're not good at that. I'm sorry, but you aren't going to be a singer, mate. It's not happening.
So originally, going back to the original question, like, the idea behind it was just to make like a game behind it, but now it's just, I don't know. I just like, I get an idea. I'm like, oh, that will fit well with the lore, that part. And it's just like this little thing I want to build on. And maybe one day if I win the lottery, I could just like, I have like a lot of money. Gonna buy a small indie dev company and just like give them the money to make the thing.
They can just make it for me. I don't have to do it.
That's a good thing, Dad. If I got lots of money, I don't need to be smart, Dad.
Yeah. Stupid dad.
Okay,
Didn't think about money, did he?
Just let me clarify one thing. I don't hate my dad. I just made the joke because I'm always a person, and this is as a South African, I've learned, if you want to deal with tragedy, you make fun of it.
Mm-hmm. I deal with it.
You cannot,
exactly
like, I think I learned that because one day I had a war vet come into the shop where I used to work in, when I used to work in the watch industry. And he told me, because I wanted to join the British Marines back then. Because I was like, nothing here. I'm going to join the Marines. And he told me, like, if you go there, you have to have a sense of humor. He said, like, for instance, example he gave me, he was in Afghanistan and he's like someone in his squad got shot in the leg. And they called him Limpy.
Of course they did. That's exactly
it's called
what
Limpy. And he's like, Limpy! And it's like, your friend could have died. My friend could have died. But if I was like, oh man, I'm so sad you got shot, you'd be like, that person's not going to deal with it good. She just make jokes. And that's what I did when my dad died. And was like, sometimes on stream, people were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my dad's dead.
He's just like, oh.
I was like,
yeah. See, the thing, I deal with stuff like that in exactly the same way. I will make jokes out of it, and my entire family do it, right? I think my girlfriend and stuff thinks we're an insane family because of the jokes that we will make and stuff. And some of them are just, it's just that sort of dark humor that you go, and it's not actually it's not fun. If that really happened, that wouldn't be funny. But we're going to make a joke of it because that's how we deal with these stressful situations. I don't know whether it's healthy necessarily to always do that, because I don't know whether I'm accidentally burying it and going, everything's fine. But underneath, I'm like, oh God, it's horrible.
Oh, I'm so sad.
I don't know. But I do the same thing.
You deal with those things when you're like 60 years old and you're about to die. And I'm like,
why do you think you're going to die at 60 all the time? Every time you pick dying age, you're like, 60, that's when I die. What? You might have another 20, 30 years after that, mate.
Oh, Jesus, what have I done to you?
People live to 80 all the time.
I don't want to be 90 years old or 80 years old.
I think by the time you're 60, you probably will want to be 80. You'll be like, I'm not done yet. This is Jesus. I want more time, please.
Like the Reaper comes like, hey, I was just joking for content, okay?
It was a joke on a podcast.
It was a joke.
20 more years, please.
I don't understand. It's a cultural thing. I think the British and like cultures that stem from the British, because South African culture has some, strings attached to the UK, and I just think it's just a way. It's a healthier way sometimes to deal, because if you go out and you're like, oh, this is sad, and if you never try to find, like, for instance, I joke about this now recently because I got COVID a long time ago, like a month or two ago, and I have no allergies. I have no allergies anymore, right?
So I'm like,
and my wife is like, you have to go to the doctor. I'm like, honey, I could enjoy summer for the first time in my goddamn life.
You should see a doctor. I am amazing right now.
Honestly, I blow my nose a lot of time in the morning. There's a lot of blood. I'm like, this is concerning, but I'm like, I have to find the silver lining in this. I gotta enjoy. I'm in winter when it's cold and the trees and stuff coming everywhere. I will go have it looked at. But at the moment,
don't think that's good medical advice. If you're listening or watching,
by the way, guys,
don't do that.
Don't take any advice from us. Medical advice, mental health advice. We are two idiots on the internet. Do not take that from us. Okay?
I mean, sometimes we might say things that are good, but don't take everything we say as
with a grain of salt, like a really small, like a finely grounded salt.
Oh yeah, get all the salt. Mm-hmm. I mean, you sound like my dad did this once. He was like, oh yeah, when you get up in the morning and you cough up and there's a bit of blood in it, and I'm going, what? No, I don't know that, Dad. And he's like, no, it's normal though. It's like I'm like, it is not normal. You should see a doctor about that.
Okay, coughing up blood is one thing that I'm really concerned about.
It was only he's fine, by the way. I just like to say my dad isn't dead yet, so I can't joke about it.
Yeah.
Although he is approaching 60, which by Rap's scale, death is soon to be here. So,
walk to the kitchen like, hey, Dad, so when are you going to plant the die? Because I want to start using it as a joke.
Yeah, I really need the content. So if you could just die so I could joke about it, it'd be really good for me.
Oh, man.
And if you leave me some money, that'd be great as well. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, also, that'd be great. That'd be
lovely.
Fine.
Yeah, geez.
My dad didn't leave anything behind me for me.
Oh, my God, this is so dark. Oh my God, this podcast went from vomit to family deaths. Weird.
Title of the podcast: Shit gets sad.
Yeah, but it's not sad because we can joke about it and it's fine.
Because I feel
we're not suffering from bad mental health all the time. Most of the time. Most of the time.
I mean,
some of us are medicated for it.
Do you feel like I was watching? By the way, this is weird. This is the first time this happened so fast. Doctor Strange multiverse madness thingy. It's on Disney Plus already.
What, is that the new one? What?
The Doctor.
Again,
the new Doctor Strange is on Disney Plus, right? And I was like, wow, that's really fast.
It wasn't that long ago. It was, I remember.
Exactly. That usually doesn't happen that fast. Or maybe
I think COVID helped with that because they were like, can't put a film out at the cinemas, so they had to put them on like a lot of streaming places. So maybe they're going, actually that worked kind of well, so we'll do that a bit quicker.
Again, yeah. But it's the scene and it's like the one character asks the other character, "Are you happy?" And he's like, "Yes," but he's not happy, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, like, I wanted to ask you, are you happy, Colesy? Because are you really happy?
Am I really happy? Well, this is fucking dark as shit. Am I happy? Generally. Yeah.
It's like
a bit. There's a lot of stress in everyone's life, and everyone deals with it differently. And I don't feel like I'm particularly good at dealing with stress.
Stress
generally
is
happy.
I think that most people need to have their lives put in perspective.
Yes, that is
when it comes to because some people have a really easy upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people have like really shitty upbringings.
I mean, as we discussed on, I think it was like the first episode where I have been very lucky, and then you were telling me stories about how you smashed your teeth out in a war zone, and I'm like, I've never been to a hospital before. So I feel like I'm the one that's had a good upbringing, and you've had to go through some shit.
I think like, and then this is something like I always thought about. Like I always have to find that there's momentary moments in life where you have to like grasp at those moments. You know, oh, this is gonna make me happy. Because I used to have this mentality when I was growing up that in life, the majority of the shit, 95% of your life is gonna just be shit.
Okay.
95% of the life is gonna be just pure fucking chaos. Like every other moment you're gonna be running, stressful, and but there's a snowflake. It comes down from the sky. You're like, oh, that's just a very happy moment. You have to focus on those moments. Because I have to mention this because I feel like we talked about a lot of dark shit on the stream today. And not a stream, but podcast. And I feel like I want to be like, okay, before we leave it, there is sometimes you have to find the happy moments in life and grasp on those. I don't know why my camera is getting darker and darker.
I just sorry for the audio listeners. I just thought that. I was like, Jesus, did it turn to night suddenly? I couldn't see anything behind you.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay,
but
sorry, Karen.
Just like literally find the happy moments in life and grasp on those and stick to those. And that's the thing you need to like keep going on with and keep those in life. And just fine. And if you cough out blood in the morning, go to a doctor.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely. If it comes out of your nose, that's fine.
I mean, nose fine. What if it comes out your butt or your pee-pee?
If it comes out of your butt, you're gonna get fingered soon.
You're gonna get fingered soon. That is medical advice here from Dr. Rapskilian.
Well, the doctor's gonna put his his finger up your butt.
Have you had that?
Check it out.
Have you had that done?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's so uncomfortable.
Again, never had that done. So
because I had to go there, and he's like, "Oh, okay, you're 30. You're 30 years old, so we have to like have you checked." I'm like,
30. I've got 2 years, and then they're fingering my bum.
I'm like, wait. I have to do. He's like, yeah, just lay down on the table. I'm like, okay,
okay.
Like
that's fun.
Oh, this is uncomfortable. Oh, this is uncomfortable.
I mean, back to being positive. Yes, you do have to hold on to the happy moments, and you have to realize sometimes that the happy moment that you're looking for isn't necessarily like, oh my god, I'm a millionaire and I have everything. It's not that, right? We all would love a bit more money so that we feel a bit more comfortable and we don't have to worry about silly things like rent and stupid shit like that we're worried about or whatever. But it's not necessarily those things that are your happy moments, is it? I mean, we both know as family men that your family, it doesn't matter whether you were freaking living in a box. If your family's together, at least, you know what I mean?
I know that's true, but the thing
it's not ideal, the box house thing, but your family are more important.
I think for me, most people don't understand when I say this, but money's important to me. Not because I'm like a greedy boy and I want to buy all the toys and stuff like that. No. Money means peace. What I mean by peace, it means like I don't have to worry about next month. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about the unexpected. I'm just be like, have you ever woke up in the morning and literally had nothing going through your head?
Nothing going through your head.
Literally not, because when a person wakes up, the first thing they think about, oh, I have to do this, or that lingering thought of like, oh, I forgot to do that, or it needs to be done. That, this. I want to wake up in the morning and be like,
nothing.
Literally, I want to be brain dead. That sense, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The freedom. I guess it's like the freedom of being like, you know what? I don't have the worries.
And it's not about whatever. Like I want to. Okay, I'm going to state this out right now. If I win the lottery and I become a millionaire or whatever happens in the future, I will not buy a big ass house. I will not buy a 20-room apartment or a fucking house and buy a Lamborghini. The most money I'll probably invest in isn't this right here. I'll probably invest all my money that I can, possibly without my wife murdering me, into making content because this is what brings me joy.
Yeah.
Personal joy.
I might buy a Lamborghini. I'm just saying. I might.
Lamborghinis are so overrated, man.
I'd like to. Okay. Playing one. It'd be fun, though. How many have you driven? How many Lamborghinis have you driven? What are we talking about here?
0, but I've seen people drive them and they look really uncomfortable with it. Because everyone is like, oh, don't scratch my car. Don't touch my car. Don't touch my car. You know what I want to do? I want to, oh, god damn, I forgot the car's name now. it Bentley? No, it's not Bentley. It's a really very famous posh brand in UK.
Rolls Royce.
No. This is the podcast curse. Every time I come on the podcast, I'm like, I want to say the word. And it's like,
There's a thing, and you can't remember it.
just
do a
riff.
Google.
I'm
Do a
gonna
Google.
do the
It's
Google.
fine to Google. Look, everyone does
British
Googling in life.
British
Lotus?
car
It's not
brands.
Lotus.
No.
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin, baby.
Yeah, baby, we got there. I just had to go through all the cars.
I literally just wanted one day in my life walk into an Aston Martin dealership and buy a car. Cash.
Brand new. Straight off the lot.
Brand new. Just like wearing this. So walking in
that's that's exactly my thought. I want to go in looking as trash as possible so that they judge me, and then I go, I'll take your most expensive car, dickhead. yeah.
And just like wearing maybe the headphones, drink a Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know, just get a nice sweat going on. I'm like, all right, I get this car there.
I'll take that one, thanks, mate. Oh, I've got a bag full of cash. No, I don't think if you walked in with a bag full of cash, they'd accept that. They might think you've done a robbery.
They'll be like, we won't accept this. Meet me behind. How many drug dealers do that, by the way?
How many drug dealers do that? I don't know. I don't know many drug dealers, unfortunately.
I know plenty. No,
I don't know any drug dealers. I don't know any drug dealers.
I do know a few of them.
I don't know any that I'm aware of. The one thing, right? This is a funny thing that I've always wanted to do. It's my lottery win wish.
Okay.
So if I want a significant amount, it doesn't have to be that much. I guess I could make do with 1 million. I guess. I mean, it doesn't have to be hundreds of millions.
I'm not
right?
greedy.
So this is what I've always wanted to do. I would buy a big piece of land somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably close to where I live because there's lots of fields, so I can probably buy somewhere pretty cheapish.
Cheap, yeah.
And I would want to build like a little town. So there's houses for each of my family. So we just live in our own little town. And I'm just like, this is just where we live. And we just do what we do. And it's just our little town. And I just always thought that
There's walls around it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a gated community.
No one can come in.
And it's just us. And we have all our separate houses. And I don't know, maybe I put a go-kart track in because that's pretty fun. I don't know. That's my dream, is to just do something kind of dumb like that. But it, sort of looks after your family at the same time. It's cool. They're all
and just like have like someone like a fake shop that gets up.
I said that. I was like, my mum. I was like, we'd make a pub. You could run the pub. I mean, it's only us guys there, but if you want to just serve us drinks, you can. I don't know.
That sounds kind of cool. Like you have your. Like originally, when I was a kid, my mom always told us one day she's going to buy a castle, and then she's going to make us live in a castle. And I was like, cool. At some point, I think I was like 16. I was like, Mom, when are you gonna fucking buy the
castle, Mom?
You fucking lied to me. But the idea of that was also very similar. But now, when I get older, and I just like every time someone says like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy a house out in the farmlands," I'm like, fucking horseflies, man.
Fucking all the insects. God damn it.
I can't deal with that. Like I told my wife also.
You could get
my kids love going into the forest, running around, doing the dirty shit and all that. I went to the forest recently with my kids. A small spider climbed on my arm, and I was like, "He's enough for me." I want to go back to my concrete house where all the walls are safe and clean. Yeah. I do not like the outside. I would probably not buy a house in a city. Like not like a because those are way like overpriced and unnecessary. Probably buy a nice house in a small village area, not like a town.
It depends.
Small
doesn't
area.
It? I think the reason that people have to buy those expensive houses in cities is because generally cities are where they work and where the best jobs are and where they need to commute and all that shit. So you're stuck. You know what I mean?
If you win the lottery, you don't have to fucking work.
Exactly. That's if you win the lottery, you go. It doesn't matter to me because I don't need to do that, and you do what you want.
Question.
Why do we always talk about winning the lottery? Because it's going to make me sad afterwards. Because I'm going to be like, I'm not going to win the lottery. There am I? That sucks.
I'm playing the lottery today.
I'm going to do it now. I'm definitely going to put a lottery.
I play the Hero Millions. I played the Hero Millions because I did something good today.
And you deserve it. I've earned it.
I went out of the shopping center where I went shopping. There's a credit card on the floor. and I saw the credit card. I picked it up and I called the credit card company. I'm like, "Hi, I found this person's credit card. Tell that person I'm leaving it at the counter here in the shopping center so they can come pick it up." Right? I went to this place and I gave her the card. And the woman was like, "Oh, that's so nice." I said, "Look, I informed the credit card company the person's card has been found. They're going to come pick it up at this place. Is that good?" And she said, "That's perfectly fine." I turned around and I saw the jackpot for the Hero Million. I was like, you know what?
It's a sign.
I will take a randomized number. I never choose my own numbers.
No.
I don't trust my own fucking
Oh,
judgment.
do you know what? A friend of mine actually told me once that their dads, I think my parents have it as well, where they have a set of numbers that they get. Sometimes they get a lucky dip and they just go for random numbers, but they have a set numbers. Now, my friend's dad had this, and he didn't do it one week, and you'll never guess what happened. His numbers came up, and I'm like, I don't know if I could live the rest of my life. I honestly don't. I think I'd be like, I'm done. I'm an idiot. I'd be so broken. So that's why if I just don't pick my numbers, I never know.
Yeah, exactly. I've said also to the people, they always ask me, "Why don't you choose your own numbers?" Like, every time I choose my own numbers, I don't win, and I blame myself. I'm leaving it up to the universe to decide.
Exactly.
Does Rapskilian finally get his break?
He handed over someone's card. He did a good thing.
I'm okay. This is going out to the universe. I'm not saying anything, but I've had a shitty life up until now.
There was a war, remember, and he had no teeth. Come on, universe.
I went through, I sometimes sit down, I don't know if you do this, but I sit down, I'm like, at some point in time, my luck has to change.
I mean, again, it's that thing of thinking, how unlucky are we really? Because...
And then sometimes okay, I'm going to push it now. See how
I'm going to push it. I'm going to go up to 75 miles an hour in my car and just see if I don't die. I'm going to push my luck a little bit. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you feel like at some point things are going to turn around. But then I think back and I'm like, you know what? I've had a lot of moments where I've gone, wow, this seems... I don't know if I deserve all this cool stuff that's happening. You did.
You got a cool thing, huh? Your TikTok video went viral last night.
Oh, that was like 12,000 views overnight. I was like, I didn't even think that was a good video particularly, but I had the content to put it up. I don't know.
Did you get any followers from that?
A couple, not many.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm not just... See, I find TikTok's fun for me to do. It feels a lot like YouTube did back in when I began. You know, where you're just doing it and you're like, I'm just happy doing these videos. Not saying that YouTube is a chore now, because I still enjoy it. But I do treat it a lot more like a job, like business.
Yeah.
Like I need to sort of... I'm looking at it going, oh, could have done with some more views on that because that would have really helped. Yeah. Whereas in the beginning, you're like, you know what? I'm just happy the video's cool. And like 3 people watched it and I'm happy. Those 3 people see me and it's funny. So I sort of treat TikTok kind of like that. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I'm actually doing a lucky dip right now, just so I don't forget. What day is it?
You're playing the Euro? Today's the 23rd.
So it's on Friday. Okay, sorry for the audio listeners.
You're playing Hero Millions, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the big one. It's got the...
Excuse me. I don't want to get technical. But are you allowed to play the Hero Millions? Seeing as the British...
We're not in Europe, yeah.
You guys kind of left...
well, look, I didn't vote for that, so I think I'm still allowed to do the Euro Millions. If you voted to leave, you don't get to do Euro Millions. Now, how many people would be pissed off at that? That'd be funny.
Just imagine, Colesy, just imagine you win it. You're like, oh my God, we just won the lottery. We just won the Euro Millions. And you call them up, I won. And they're like, excuse me, where are you from? Because he's from France, obviously.
Are they from France? Okay.
I don't know. They sound French. Excuse me, where are you from? You're like, oh, I'm from the UK. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I want that 138 million, so... Meh.
Oh, man.
See, now that's too much money. Do you not feel like that's a bit too much?
No.
If you won that, you'd be like, don't know what to do, really.
Oh, I know what to do. I will, I can tell you right now. I will first of all buy a house.
Everyone make notes. This is Raps' plan on how to spend 138 million pounds.
So, first one, I buy a house here in Switzerland.
For how much? How much roughly are you thinking on spending on this house?
Well, sadly, with the Swiss market, I'll probably have to spend over $1 million to buy a decent house.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yes,
but I mean,
literally, there's a house in my town as a shitty farmstead that is falling apart.
Yeah,
and
but
they're
it's probably
charging 2.5 million fucking.
But it's probably got land.
Not that much.
Not that much. Okay.
Not
well,
much. It's got a lot of land you have on the deed, but a lot of unusable land.
it's just shitty land.
It's just shitty land.
Maybe you
And
should
people
just
are like-
move to somewhere cheaper.
And I was like, oh, 2.5 million. I'm like,
Yeah.
And it got sold.
Yeah, well, somebody's going to buy it.
Because
Yeah.
someone bought it, and someone's like, oh, this is a good deal. I mean, so anyway,
Anyway, so you
wholly
spent-
inexpensive. So I'll
Yep.
buy a house in Switzerland,
Yep.
and then I'll buy a house in Japan. Because obviously, for want to visit family there,
family.
I have
Yeah,
a fixed house.
got
And
it.
once I've done that, I will take a large portion of that money and I will keep it fixed. I will put that as my future generation's income. So my future generation of kids and their kids and the kids after that don't have to live a hard life.
Are you worried slightly about them becoming spoiled assholes because they've been given money?
I will make sure my children will not become spoiled. I
Well,
will
what about-
literally
what
send
about
them
your
to South Africa.
What about your children's children? See,
I
it
will
gets
start. I
found out-
will start a generational. I don't know what you call it. Thing what you keep doing every time.
like some sort of grant where they have to have achieved like a university degree, and then you're like,
No,
you know
there's
what,
a
you've
thing-
tried, so you can have 50 grand now.
So no, literally,
Some
I will
people do
send
that.
them to South Africa to live in poverty for like 4
I-
years.
Think that might be considered neglect. I'm not sure. If
No.
you just send them, I'm going to send them. Where's a war going on at the minute? I'll send them there for 6 months. I
No, just not a war zone, but I want to send them back to like
don't know.
so they
When
can
you-
realize, like,
when
you
you
just show
explained
them,
It sounds
just
like
like literally show them, this is reality. You're very lucky if that happens.
yeah,
And then obviously, I will take about like 20 million,
just a
and
cool
this-
20 mil.
20 mil, and invested in making my own streaming company and business
Mm-hmm.
for me to fuck around with and see what I could do with on YouTube and Twitch.
Let's see if it gets anywhere.
Yeah,
I
just
feel
literally-
like at that point you do have that kind of money. You can go, you know what? If I lose it all, I tried and I had fun for a bit.
exactly like if I won 25 million in the lottery, right? I couldn't do that.
No, you could probably. I mean, I feel like 1 million would be enough to be fuck around money. You could
Yeah,
buy
but
an
then
office. Yeah, you could. Well, you don't know whether you buy the office. You rent the office. That seems more reasonable.
Reasonable.
You rent an office. You could pay multiple staff to edit, to be content creators, and like that wouldn't cost you that much, right? Surely, like
No,
$1
the
million
thing-
would last a while. I would have thought.
Obviously, but like my I've always said this, and I meant this, that I always want to do a Philip DeFranco.
What does he do?
See, do you know Philip DeFranco?
I do know him. I just
Okay.
I don't know.
So
what
what
you mean
he
by-
did, he always does, and was always he. I don't know if he's going to do that anymore, but what he done.
What he does,
Brain.
yeah.
He did is
He
he
does
would
do
start
this.
companies, and then he would find local talents and small people, and like bring them onto the bigger platform. And all the people that were on his platform and on his channels and so forth, they went on to have successful own YouTube careers and like different platforms and different areas, and they always got a big spotlight on them.
Yeah. You've just
And
got to
that's
give
what I wanna
people the
do.
opportunity sometimes, don't you? Yeah.
I want to go and say, look, I know what it is to be a small content creator. I'm still a small content creator. We're talking hypothetical situations.
Talking in the future, being millionaires, we would definitely
Yes.
get the views.
The views. I would
The
pay for the
views.
views. I'm joking. Never do that.
No, don't do
I would
that.
I would try to highlight people and be like, hey, I find this person. Like I would do the opposite of what Mr. Beast is doing. Mr. Beast goes on people's Twitch channels and gives them thousands of dollars, right? That's a momentary explosion. But then
Yeah.
that person just like fizzles away. I want to
Yeah.
find a person's channel, like maybe stalk that person's channel for maybe a month or two, just to make sure they're on the clean, not randomly dropping the N word.
Yeah.
Just secretly a Nazi. You know what I mean? So make sure that
that's-
person's clean. And I
Yeah.
like that person. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you and put you in this program where I'm going to mentor you and make sure you get bigger views and make sure you grow. And I'm not going to ask that person for any monetary gain.
No.
It has to be like,
Well,
I don't
need it
want to
at
be
that point.
like, I don't need your money. Like I got money for myself and I'm making money off my own YouTube channel by that time. I just want to make sure that you have all the opportunities to go up in the world.
Yeah, see, I don't think many people think like this. See, I I guess I think very similar. Like, I am all about giving back and helping, and where I can. Obviously, I can't help to the point that I have to go without paying my bills or whatever to help somebody.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I have to have fucking money, so
we can't do it at the minute. But in the future, or when I have had some money before, and I'm like, you know what, I've got more money than I need right now. Exactly. I'm quite happy to help people, but people that I know need help, not just like. Anyone that's like, oh, can I have a tenner? They're like, no, I'm not giving you money. Come on, jeez. You know what I mean? But I feel the same way basically. But I don't feel like a lot of people feel like that. A lot of people are kind of like, no, why should I? And it's like, it's not why should I? It's why don't you? Why would you not help a fellow human being if you can? Like, if you're not able to, I understand it. But if you can help them, whether that be you've got a big platform that you can work with them on, you can cross-promote, cross-pollinate your community. Why would you not do that? Like, if I was a creator that had 1 million subscribers, there's no reason why I couldn't look at a channel that is like me now, that has like 6,000, and go, I like that guy, quite happy to make a video with him. It's not the numbers for me, it's like the person is more
I think you become a little bit jaded, because once you get to a certain level, people will start leeching off you and abusing you.
Yeah, I get
it. It will take that goodwill and they will ruin it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the way I will do it is, like I said, I sneak watch
just
them.
Sneaky.
Like,
just sneaky. You're doing
sneaky, just watch them.
They don't even know you're there.
And I'll make a new Twitch account every few months. Be like, oh, that's some 14-year-old boy. Okay, that sounds weird. Let me reframe that.
I like it. He's a millionaire. He's going to pretend to be a 14-year-old boy. Okay, fine. Cool.
On the internet.
On the internet, no questions. Don't ask any questions. No, I get you though. You're gonna be completely anonymous,
incognito, and just be like the person wouldn't be able to be like, oh, hey, it's Mr. Beast. I have to be like, hi, Mr. Beast. I've been a subscriber, and Mr. Beast caught someone recently. The guy that won the Squid Games video, wasn't even following him on TikTok.
Oh no, he wasn't even.
And he was like,
following him.
He's like, I would like to be on this video. And he's like, you're not, follow me back, and then you could do it. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, bit awkward, isn't it? But then I don't know if I follow Mr. Beast on everywhere, to be fair. I don't watch his videos.
I follow him on I follow him on TikTok, because sometimes he makes funny videos there. And I follow him on YouTube. But on Twitter, I've unfollowed a bunch of people on Twitter.
Yeah.
I have this weird thing, or I know we're over time, but I have this weird thing where I always want to make sure that my followers.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that you want to make sure your followers is bigger than your following.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to be like the person that's following 5,000 people and has like 200 followers.
Yeah, I agree.
If you go look at my TikTok, that's because me and TikTok have a big problem. I have a big problem with TikTok.
You got a big problem. Why have you got a big problem with TikTok?
Because TikTok,
it's addictive.
No,
it is.
It knows me too well.
It's just giving me people that I really like, and I have to follow them.
And the thing is, I'm gonna buy myself when I say this out loud, but it makes me sleepy, horny, and frustrated.
Okay. Why?
Frustrated because sleepy because
I get horny. That's not what. Sorry,
I
didn't mean to say I get horny. Just to be, I understand where the horny comes from. There are a lot of TikToks out there that are maybe. It just
does me like it serves me like. I know you like this kind of preference. It's like shows me I'm like
you like boobies, and I'm like I do like boobies. I can't help it.
Who doesn't like boobies, man?
I can't help it.
Okay, can we just this is gonna go on a whole tangent, but if you say to me like, okay, I get it. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm a lesbian or I'm gay. I don't like boobs. At some point in your life, you literally needed boobs to be alive.
But you don't technically, though. Because you can always be bottle fed.
Yeah, but what happens to bottle fed people? I'm joking. It's an old timer joke. But anyway, boobs are vital. Everyone likes boobs. At some point in your life, you like the boobs. As a baby, you're like, oh, the boobies, give it to me. It's your mom's boobs. Weird. I'm not going to judge you because that's what you're into. But at that time, but at that point, in time,
you're into it in a different way though, mainly for survival at that point. So that's okay. If you say, as a 30-year-old man, I'm into my mum's boobs. Weird thing to say, just to clarify. So that's
Okay. Anyway, so TikTok knows I like the boobies and it knows
That's fine,
everything
right?
about
So I
me.
understand that. What's making you sleepy?
So when I go to bed, I lie down in my beddy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna look at TikTok for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's not 5 seconds.
And it's like 30 minutes goes by.
Yeah.
An hour goes by. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't get enough sleep because of it.
Yeah. We're broken. We're broken humans.
And then I get frustrated because it's a reoccurring cycle of horniness, sleepiness, and frustration.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of understand where you're coming from. But it's because that's what we like and we respond to it. And we're, as you said earlier, human beings are broken. Not just because we're scared of tiny spiders, because we get addicted to like 50-second videos and we watch them for 2 hours when we could have been doing anything else. It sucks. We're dumb people.
So we have to end it here because my family's ringing the doorbell and I have to go answer it.
Yeah,
so I'm going to say goodbye from this point. Can you do the outro of the podcast?
Yeah, I'll do the outro. You say goodbye. It's all good. Right. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode 6 of the For the Content podcast. It's been a good one. It's been an extra long one that we've recorded, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it nonetheless. Remember, you can listen to it on audio form, or you can watch it in video form if you'd like. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.